the government are implemented in Grand Bahama to get people back to work.
Mr. Forbes, we need 40,000 jobs.
40,000 jobs. Mr. Jones, I would say that tourism will continue to be the #1 industry here because of our geography. We are here, this is the most beautiful place in the world, and we want people to continue to come here. But we need to look at alternative sources of energy. There are jobs to be had, and it's expensive up front, but it's something that we need to confront, and we need to confront fairly quickly. As you can look at our gas prices today. Alternative energy, hydro, wind power. These would create jobs for the future. And you know, if we tap into things like this, I think the Bahamas will bode well in the future.
This is a special edition of the program Issues of the Day, and we are at the Selindon Pindling Center. We are talking about governance in the Bahamas. We take this break here, and we'll come right back.
Japan Direct Auto Sales. Your banner year for a car you always dreamed of in quality, style. Select from a grand variety of pre-owned, low-mileage Nissan Sentras in stunning colors that are priced at very affordable prices, $5,000 to $7,000. Toyotas starting from $7,000. They also have name brand Wyndhams, Avalons, Hondas, and CRV Jeeps. Japan Direct will see you through in an accident guaranteed vehicle. Phone Japan Direct Auto Sales today at 394-0439 or fax them at 394-2573. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday. Go roll away in your new vehicle today.
LaRose Signature Cosmetics has revolutionized the face of Bahamian women of all skin tones, restoring a breathtaking, younger-looking skin, targeting and smoothing expression lines for elegant sophistication and flawless radiance, keeping every woman looking as young as she feels. Once you discover the difference LaRose Cosmetics has made, you will be thrilled. Behold a more beautiful you, exclusively at LaRose, West Bay.
Program Issues of the Day, and we are broadcasting from the Selindon Pindling Center or Gambia House on Farrington Road, and we are discussing in this segment the economy of the Bahamas. And joining the discussion now, Frank Smith, the MP for St. Thomas More, and Ryan Pinder, the newly elected MP for the Elizabeth constituency. Senator Halkitas and Senator Fitzgerald remain on the panel today. Gentlemen, the landscape in New Providence is littered with vendors. People are selling phone cards, they are selling all sorts of things. And some people say it has uglified our environment. Isn't this a symptom of the inability of the government of the Bahamas to find jobs for our people? And it hasn't just begun.
The reality is, Mr. Jones, things are tough out there, and people are seeking to take advantage of any means to generate any type of economy or income that they possibly can. And the underground economy, the casual economy, the soft economy, is working for some people, and that's the only thing out there. The formal economy with jobs where you go to a business place and you sit down and you work, or a construction site, it's just not happening. The economy is just not generating that type of activity. And when you look at the financials for BTC, you can see that I believe the phone card sales really saving BTC. You look at the cell phone minutes. And what's happening is, in our economy, the little bit of diversification that we have is now being streamlined into one main stream, where you have really the civil service and really offshoots of that, where you have the advent of loan companies that are coming and they're only lending to civil servants with a salary deduction that's pushing people further and further into debt. What's happening is the revenue stream out there for our economy is really shrinking down under the Free National Movement in the last 3 years. And that's really a symptom of poor management of our economy.
Poor management of the economy just over the last 3 years, because Ryan Pinder, it is said that bad economic policies over the last 2 decades have really retarded the growth of our economy and our country.
Well, Mr. Jones, I think what we have to recognize, and I think Senator Halkitis did a good job of pointing it out last segment, is that we currently exist in a very narrow economy. And it's unfortunate that the economy in which we find ourselves in, heavily focused on tourism and financial services, both took a dramatic and significant hit with this global recession, both in finances as well as tourism, because people are not traveling. And when Bahamians lose jobs because of those two economies being hurt so bad, there's nothing to fall back on. There's no policies in place. We have prepared ourselves, and I think that one of the economic kind of landscapes of the PLP administration under Mr. Christie was to develop parts of the Family Islands, develop the country as a whole, and what you would find is when you do that, you have an ability to create Bahamian empowerment through small businesses and other reciprocal type of businesses that would support both the resort plan on the Family Islands, but also some of the industrial plans that the PLP government had in place and wanted to go about. It's just not the mega resort that fuels the economy when you build one in Exuma. It's the reciprocal service vendors that pop up, the empowerment of Bahamians to help support that.
But that was, we were talking mainly tourist-related facilities. Well, and here again we are talking about the over-reliance on tourism, which is dangerous.
Mayaguana was not a tourist-focused project that was proposed. Also, I think what you really should look at, and the policies that we really need to set forth, and I think Senator Darville brought it up when he spoke about light manufacturing. But we're a party to the Economic Partnership Agreement with Europe, which gives us a preferential trading status. We don't have the economy to really take advantage of that. And that's an avenue, that's a benefit that we can have to expand our economy while empowering Bahamians to be a participant in that economy as we build a trade-based sector in the country. We need to look at other areas. We need to also expand what we have. If you look at our financial services sector, it's very narrow. It's focused specifically on managing persons' wealth. Well, we don't have a commercial basis. Anybody that's trying to do an international business from the Bahamas will understand the challenges we have here dealing with the financial services sector and the international banking community. We need to expand that to a commercial base. What that does is that allows Bahamians to be more of a participant on an ownership and operational level in banking, because you're now a commercial banking center rather than a center driven by foreign banks, Swiss and French and the like, who want to do some money management. These are the type of expansion opportunities and activities we talk about to empower Bahamians to be a part of the economy.
We've been talking about the economy of the Bahamas for about 35 to 40 minutes, and not one of you mentioned the word agriculture. And we're talking about our country now developing for the 21st century. How are we going to diversify the economy of the Bahamas? How are we going to diffuse the population in New Providence? How are we going to bring about food security? Why are politicians today running from the word agriculture?
With the greatest respect, Mr. Jones, you will recall, just as
MP Pinder said, that the whole Anchor project idea was, and the pursuit of that, was to empower people, decentralize the economy with respect to touristic development, but also to enhance linkages with the agricultural sector, the fisheries sector, with the tourism product. Tourism, for us, is a very low-hanging fruit. There are other regions in the world that want to make tourism a fruit for them. And I give you an example. In Nova Scotia, there's a place called Sydney, and Sydney Mines, a coal mining town. They now have cruise ships stopping there. There's absolutely nothing there for you to see. But the whole thing is, let's construct a dock, let's get the tourists here, because they come and they spend money, they see the place. They may want to come back, they may want to acquire land. they expand your population, give you an opportunity to sell them products that you wouldn't ordinarily have an opportunity to sell. So for us, tourism is a natural. And you know, when people talk about diversification, a lot of people have the idea of abandoning tourism. We will be foolish to abandon tourism. Yes, we must develop other sectors